Hello all, welcome to study 79 of the Solving Studies to Improve Chess Calculation series. This position comes from Anatole Mouterde. He was a French composer. He was one of the founders of the L'Union des Problémistes Français, which translates more or less Association of French Composers. He was not as known as Ring, de Villeneuve-Esclapot, or Lazard, but he also made some recognition. He produced also problems, but more or less 100 endgame studies. He was very creative. He played correspondence chess. And he even create a notation, so-called. I don't know if it's known still, but it was called La Notation Universelle Super-Économique Malinois. It was a universal notation, super economic Malinois. He also the inventions he had were so creative. He even created and suggested a board, a chess board that we have in the thumbnail. I can show you fast over here. Okay, this chess board with four extra squares on each side of the board, giving it 72 squares overall. So, very inventive person and an interesting chess composer. Let's go for the study here. As always, if you haven't, I suggest you watch the guide so you are better prepared to extract the most from the practice. And after the countdown, I will come back as always with a solution. And here we are, and I think the first move is pretty obvious. It's rook d3 check. Why it's pretty obvious? Well, because one of the features of the position is our queen is currently pinned, and so this seems like an unavoidable draw, because after the exchange of the queens, materially we are equal. There's no simple way to win. So after a few seconds, I think everyone will see the forced move rook d3 check. The king comes to the side, and then we check it again. Notice that the king can't come up to the seventh rank, because even if it's pinned, the queen is cutting off the king. And so with this check, we place our rook and pinning our queen, because now we can remove the queen. So this is the first part we need to find. I think this is very easy. Of course, here the king can't come back to d8, as I now can use the queen to checkmate it. So the king goes to the other side, and then I have my queen free. Of course, I need to keep with forcing moves. Uh, Checking seems the most natural, and in fact is the best. The other possibility was maybe queen g3, but then after this move we are not only unpinning, um, sorry, pinning the rook, but placing ourselves to exchange. So it's no big deal. From here it's a draw for sure. So the natural continuation is the right one, and so we have the first question over here. So now, how to continue? It's not that intuitive, but the effort comes from here. Of course, if we try, let's say, to remove the king to unpin our rook, well, this is just going to suffer checks after checks, so it will be a draw for sure. We can't go with the king outside, so we need to keep checking. How? Well, the best idea is to go with the queen a5. So now the king starts to move, check again, the king moves, and now the critical moment is now. Uh, it's very, very, very smart. We simply check. This is brilliant. So the king moves to the b file again, and now suddenly I can check it again with the queen on b2, unpinning my rook. So we first use the rook to unpin the queen, very interesting, and now we use the queen to unpin our rook. So very, very interesting idea. And now, of course, the king moves and I can checkmate it. So from a position that looked like an avoidable draw to a very interesting checkmate in the end, with this maneuver of unpinning the queen first and then unpinning the rook. I hope you also have enjoyed. And as always, I see you in future studies. Bye bye.